Hey, good morning, guys. Ah, well, let's see who's home. Hey, Lee. Hi. Good to see you. So I am in Georgia this morning. I'm on my way to Omaha, Nebraska. So today we're going to talk about. I'm good, thank you. We're going to talk about traveling because that's what I'm doing. I'm traveling to Omaha, Nebraska for a customer of ours, so I'll be working there all week. And so, what are you guys up to? See, normally I have my guitar and I'll play a little bit to break up the dead time, but I don't have my guitar with me, so I can't play for you this morning. So we'll be talking about traveling. Well, we can talk about anything you want to talk about. Hey, Christina, how are you? So it's 10:21 in the morning, Sunday morning here in Atlanta, Georgia. So I flew in yesterday from Baltimore to Atlanta. Hey, Jen, good to see you. And so I spent the night here at the um, Hilton Garden Inn right by the airport. And then after our live stream, I'm going to pack up and head back over to the airport and catch my ride to Omaha, Nebraska, where I will be working all week. Yeah, things are great. Christina, thank you. Hey, Jim. Yeah, I don't have my guitar with me, so I can't noodle around on my guitar. Uh, I like to do that. Kind of breaks up the downtime, especially when I'm reading and uh, comments and stuff. But yeah, I'm here in Atlanta. So what's going on where you guys? Why don't you guys tell me what's happening where you are? I know some of you are, Jim, you're up in Philadelphia, I presume, unless you're at your daughter's house. Hey, Thomas, how are you? I know, Christina, I'm not sure where you are. Are you in Philippines or are you in OFW? I can't remember. Jen, you're in OFW somewhere, right? I just checked the weather and it's raining in Omaha, so it's going to be wet. You're in Manila, okay. Everything okay in Manila? When I checked the weather, I noticed, hey, Olala. When I checked the weather, I noticed that it looked fairly clear in the Philippines. Hey, Jim, you're in Philly. So that's right, Saudi Arabia. Yeah, okay. So Jen is in Saudi Arabia. Yeah, so it's clear in Manila. That's cool. That's very cool. It's nice here in Atlanta. It's warm, clear. Looks, yeah, pretty clear. So I should have a easy flight getting out of here. Well, my flight's not until later on this afternoon, but hey, Lydia, good to see you. I'm good, thank you. So my flight doesn't leave until, well, I got to check out of the hotel at noon Eastern time, and but my flight doesn't leave until 4 in the afternoon. So I'll be milling around at the airport for a while. But anyway, when I check the weather in Omaha, Nebraska, it's raining and it's cold. So when my son dropped me off at the airport yesterday in Baltimore, he gave me a jacket out of the trunk of his car because I realized that it's going to be cold and rainy in Nebraska when I get there. So I'll be in Omaha. Where are you, Thomas? You're also in Georgia, aren't you? Or are you in Florida? Or you move around? Savannah. Okay. Okay. How about you, Olala? You, where are you located? And Lydia, we've heard from everybody else, I think. So yeah, this traveling. Oh, okay, Jim, I did. Yeah, Atlanta is a big metro, man. It's huge. You're both. Oh, that's right. Okay, you're both. Hey, Lee. So I guess you mean snow. I'm not ready for any snow, but I know it's rainy and cold in Omaha, so that's where I'm headed after this. Um, I'll be leaving out of Atlanta around 4 this afternoon and flying into Omaha, Nebraska. And then I got to work this week there. So we're installing a system at a customer site. So nothing like working in a chemical plant in the cold rain. But whatever, I do what I got to do. Pays the bills. Yeah, not really much of a visit here. I just flew in last night, got a hotel, and I've been hanging out here. And this is the Hilton Garden Inn. They call it Millennia South. It's just south of the airport. It's a nice place. Nice place. Good food. Last night I had a salad and a piece of grilled salmon with veggies. It was really good. So and then very rare for me, but I actually watched some TV last night. I watched some college football. I think it was Miami and um, Florida, the Seminoles, and then it was Notre Dame and somebody else. I can't remember who. I enjoyed watching it, but it wasn't Navy, so I didn't get too excited about it. I believe Navy lost in a bad way to Air Force. So So anyway, guys, I'm kind of just checking in this morning. This is going to be, I'm going to keep this live stream kind of short because in a few minutes I need to start getting all my stuff together and head on over to the airport. So tell me, with you guys, what do you like about traveling and what do you don't like about traveling? Do you enjoy it? Do you enjoy traveling? Or like, I guess a lot of people, I mean, travel is a necessary evil to get to where you want to be, you know? Hey, Josie, good morning to you. Or good evening, depending on where you are. Not by plane. Do you prefer to drive or you like to take trains? Or I guess Americans, I mean, we have a love affair with our automobiles, so we like to drive. But I have a 40-minute commute one way every day. Sometimes it's a lot more than that if there's traffic or an accident or something on the Beltway. Amtrak with a sleeper, huh? I've never done a sleeper car. I used to go to France a lot for work, and I would take a train from Paris to Lille. And it was one of those high-speed planes. And when I arrived in Paris, I was usually pretty burnt out, and I'd be nodding off my head against the window. And when two high-speed trains pass each other, the pressure between the two trains just jars both of them, and it would wake me back up. And so, yeah, I wasn't a big fan of that. Hey, Raquel, thank you. I know you're in Hong Kong, or I believe you're in Hong Kong. Yeah, the business travel. Well, you know, fortunately for me, I don't have to do too much of it. Um, I a couple of times a year. I know I got this thing in. Hey, Habits, thank you. I got this thing in Omaha, and then I know in April next year I got to be back down in Louisiana to do a installation. Usually when I do those, I'm there for a week or so. As a matter of fact, this trip I'm leaving today to go to Omaha, and I'll be there for 7 days. Going back to Baltimore on the 7th. Yeah, you like traveling, Christina? Yeah, I enjoy getting to. I like to get to different places and see things, and the actual mechanics of going through airports and luggage and all that kind of stuff is a bit of a pain. But I always enjoy when I get someplace, you know. Hey, Dirt Angler. Yeah, I'm going next month. I'm going back to Cebu. Yeah, so I'll be back in Cebu visiting with my family. My kids are really anxious to see me, and my stepkids, and I have a sister-in-law who unfortunately has the same illness, the same cancer that Vivian has, and so I'll be visiting with her, trying to cheer her up some. And I'm chatting with her all the time, but it's not good. That'd be the third member of the family of the three sisters that has the cancer. So we're pretty sure it's a genetic thing, which I tell my my daughter-in-law all the time, keep an eye on yourself, and go straight to the doctor if you see anything out of the usual, out of the ordinary. Hey, Eden, good to see you. Hey, Marilyn. Hey, Glenn's, good to see you. Thank you. So yeah, that's kind of sad, but like life will throw some curves at you sometimes. Hey, Sarah, good to see you. Yeah, well, fortunately, hey, Jim's saying that, he traveled a lot, but pretty much to the same places all the time. The nice thing about the business I'm in is we have customers in different places all over. So it just kind of depends on, some of it's the luck of the draw, what job I'm assigned to, and, where that particular plant is that's being upgraded. So I spent a month and a half in Mexico back in 2015, I think it was, in southern Mexico. And that was kind of interesting. That was nice. Yeah, hey, Dirt Angler. I don't have one planned, but I'm going to try to get out and do some fishing. I don't know if I'm going to make it over to Siargao because I have I'm going to land in Cebu and spend a week there with my stepkids, and hopefully we can get just like over to Mactan Island, maybe do a little bit of fishing there, and then I'm going up to Clark, to Mabalacat, and visit my sister-in-law who's ill now because of the cancer. So not sure, but if I can, I'll squeeze some fishing in there for sure. I love that fishing. I guess you saw the fishing video I did where we caught all the mahi. That was really fun. That was over in Siargao. Yeah, Jim, I do industrial control systems. So they're big. They call them DCS, distributed control systems for chemical plants. Customers like Formosa Chemicals and people like that. Which is another stop that might be on my list. It's on, it's off, it's on, it's off. Is after I leave or when I finish up in the Philippines, then I may have to go over to Taiwan. Speaking of Formosa Chemical. Yeah, that fish was big and it was yummy too. Because we ate it that night. That was a good one. All right, guys. See, this is where I would normally be playing my guitar to break up the dead time in between conversations here. But unfortunately, I don't have a guitar with me on my trip here. Yeah, it was yummy, Marilyn. From, yeah, I never heard of them, Jim. There's there's a number of companies in that business. Catron. Yeah, no, I'm not familiar with them. But there's a lot of business. Like you guys probably see me wearing this hat. Says Phoenix Contact on there. It's a German company that makes. I buy a lot of their stuff. They make power supplies and they make terminal blocks for connecting wires together and all that kind of stuff. So I use a lot of their stuffs in the systems that I design for our customers, and then I design it and then usually run the. Well, I don't directly run the production, but I'm there to support them. And our production people build up the systems and in the cabinets and everything, and then we ship them out to our customer. And then when the customer wants to shut down their plant, then I go out there and assist them with installing all the equipment and making sure that it's working properly and everything. And then our software people will come in and set up the software for their system. It's a pretty big undertaking when when a company like Formosa Chemical, for instance, when they shut down their plant, they're losing millions of dollars a day. I mean, they're losing a lot of money. So they don't do that stuff lightly. They don't take it lightly. So they schedule everything for a specific window of time, and usually it's a week or 2 weeks, and that's how much time I got to get in, get everything installed, get it powered up, make sure it's all working properly, and then pass it on to the software people. And yeah, well, this is a little bigger than PLCs, Jim. It's PLCs are usually for smaller jobs, but yeah, it's a pretty big undertaking usually. So. So what are you guys up to? Besides talking shop, which I'll be doing for all week when up in Omaha. Anybody have any questions about traveling and what's your thoughts? Some of you say you like to travel, some of you don't. There's a the actual process of traveling is it's not particularly exciting, and that flight from like when I go over in November to Cebu, that's a long flight. I got to fly from. Hey, Dirt Angler, nice to see you too. I gotta fly to New York, and then from New York to Seoul, South Korea, and then from Seoul to Cebu, and that's a long trip, really long. So it's not particularly fun actually doing the trip. It's great when I get there. Then I can have a lot of fun. So that's why I like to spend at least 2 weeks when I go over there. Hey, Glenn's, yeah, yeah. You certainly learn a lot. I like when I get to a place. The actual process is, actually, I've done it so much lately that it's just kind of it's almost second nature. You just go. You do have to do a little planning, um, but yeah, I mean, for instance, making sure that you're at the airport on time and you got enough time to get through all the security screenings and everything else, catch your flight, you know. So I'm in no hurry today because, hey, William, cool, cool, cool. So William's headed to the Philippines October 19th. Yes. Actually, which today is October, so tomorrow's my birthday, October 8th. I get to wake up at 5 a.m. and go to a chemical plant and work all day on my birthday. Yeah, thank you, William. Yeah, yeah, thank you guys. Yeah, that's one thing. The I don't have those same. I'm talking to James O'Connor, who mentioned government travel being very restrictive, and it is. In my case, that's not so much an issue because um, when uh, when my work process begins, I'm working with one of our sales guys, and a customer wants to upgrade a system or install a new system or whatever. Then the cost of me flying out there to do the installation and everything is built into the quote. So I cost all that out ahead of time, and which is why I fly a lot on Delta and Korean Air, um, because Delta goes to the places that I need to go to. So I've been to Atlanta so many times that I couldn't count it, but usually I never make it out of the airport. I just land in Atlanta, change planes, and then head somewhere else, you know. Um, Thank you, everybody, for the birthday wishes. Maricel, Marilyn, Glenn's, James, Josie. No, tomorrow's my birthday. Well, in the Philippines, it shortly will be. It's October 8th. Thank you, Raquel. Thank you, Eden. So yeah, so thank you, Christina. I kind of travel on Delta and Korean Air most of the time. Uh, Thank you, Steve. Um, and it's nice because I try to keep. As a matter of fact, on this trip, I had booked a flight through a travel agent, ITN, and because they're always searching for the lowest prices. So this is the trip next month when I go to Cebu. So, and it's on Korean Air, and Korean Air is a partner with Delta. So when I arrived in Atlanta at ATL, I stopped by one of their service centers where they have attendants there that can help you out, and showed them that itinerary and had them put those miles on my Sky Miles account. And they were able to credit that trip because, I mean, that's 9,000, 10,000 miles one way. So it's 20,000 miles round trip. And so that's a nice little chunk of change to put on my Sky Miles account. Hopefully, I'll get credit for all of that. Yeah, I've never flown Eva, William. Air China, but yeah, it was $200 cheaper. Yeah, that's why I use ITN for those international flights because they can search all the different ones, and they also have promotions that the airline makes a deal with them, saying, "Hey, you know, I'll knock a couple $100 off just because I want to fill these flights and get people, you know." So that kind of stuff does go on, and which is good for me, the consumer, for us. Uh, it's good that we can get discounts like that. So the only time I flew something other than Korean Air, it was Cathay Pacific. Well, they're called Maricel. They're called ITN, International Travel Network, and they have a website. Their website is ASAP Tickets, ASAP Tickets. And I had, I'll tell you what, if you want, send me an email to postcardsfromcebu@gmail.com. Send me an email. Oh, by the way, anybody that would like to meet up with me while I'm in the Philippines, send me an email. Postcards from Cebu at gmail.com, and I will get a hold of you while I'm there, and we can meet up. And yeah, Maricel, yes, go ahead and send me an email, and I'll send you a link. My brain, I can't remember the name of the person that I use. She's actually a Filipina. She's living in San Francisco, USA. But anyway, she speaks Tagalog and English, both very well. And so I will send you her contact information, and you can get a hold of her. Great, William. Yeah. I have it with me. It's in my other bag at home. But anyway, if you email me, I'll email you a link, her email address, you can get a hold of her. But ASAP does a really good job, and that would explain it, William, why she found Air China $200 cheaper. Chances are ITN made a deal with Air China. And so those promotions come through from time to time, and we're the beneficiaries of getting knocked a couple $100 off the trip. Yeah, $657 round trip from Houston. Yeah, that's a good price. That's a good price. So anyway, guys, like I said, I will be in Cebu. Yeah. Long layovers are part of the game, but looks like I will be in Cebu from November 22nd to November 28 or 9. And then then after that, I'm going up to Mabalacat, actually Angeles. My hotel's in Angeles. And I'll be there visiting with my rest of my family, my sister-in-law and nieces, nephews, and grandkids and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, like I said, if go ahead and send me an email and give me some contact information, and I will connect with you when I arrive there, and maybe we can get together, have some lunch or whatever. I don't know much about that area up around Clark. My sister-in-law's kind of under the weather with dealing with what she's dealing with, and so it'd be nice to connect with somebody that can show me around. Yeah, hey Thomas. Yeah, November's not a bad time. I really liked being there in January for Sinulog in Cebu. That was really, really fun. But I think it was November last year when I was there. I had taken Vivian's remains back to the Philippines. And hey, Priscilla, I'm good. Thank you. Thank you. And went on a fishing trip. But they were telling me that in the hot months, I guess that's February, March, the fishing's better over in Siargao, because then they're catching sailfish and stuff like that. We caught the mahi-mahi, and they were quite yummy, but it'd be fun to catch a sailfish, I think. Hey, Raquel, good night to you. Hey, Maricel. The ASAP ticket, you kind of, on their website, you can search the some flights and stuff, and they'll give you some prices and everything. But it's really, I guess ASAP ticket is the front end of ITN, International Travel Network. And so eventually, though, you want to talk to a travel agent there at ITN, and they'll finalize your plans with you. Hey, Steve, good to see you. And so, yeah, like I said, and anybody interested, if you need the contact information for the travel agent that I use, and I'll be happy to send that to you. Just send me an email, postcardsfromcebu@gmail.com. Yeah, Jim, I love mahi mahi. Yeah, that was some really good food. Man, I had a nice piece of that. I'm not sure how they seasoned it, but the piece of salmon that they grilled for me here last night was really yummy. Yeah. All right, guys. So I'm gonna wrap this up because I need to get in the shower and get all my stuff packed up and get over to the airport. And I'm off to Omaha, Nebraska. Yeah, groupers, okay. Yeah. So I'm going to wrap it up, guys. I'll say goodbye to you from Atlanta, Georgia, and I will see you next week for sure. I actually got my GoPro with me, so I might, when I'm wandering around through Atlanta, through ATL, I may take some video in there and publish that later on. All right, see you guys. Thank you so much, and I will chat with you later. Bye.